where are we going for this next year? Because whatever has happened in this year is done.
It happened. It's done.
It's done. So now we have to go forward. Now it's time to realign goals.
Exactly. Realign those goals. You want to talk about your shared experiences, your spiritual experiences, and your family experiences. What is it that we want to do as a family now?
Yeah. I mean, we've done a lot, leading up to this. And now it's the fun part where, okay, where are we going for this next year? Because whatever has happened in this year is done.
It happened. It's done.
It's done. So now we have to go forward. That's really important when you're realigning, because you're taking into consideration whatever changes. You have to make a little change here or a modification there. Like, for example, let's say there was a loss of a family member and that caused emotional strain or something.
And money. Because
money, it could be
your
money.
Hospital bills.
Yeah, it could be that more money came out or new money came in, depending on your family situation.
That's true.
But maybe it caused extra travel, extra
They're
time.
in another state. Yeah.
And so the goals that you had before had to be realigned or something. Or like in our case, we had a really bad accident. Now that was our whole life kind of family home structure. And we had to realign, okay, this is what we wanted to do this month, but now we have to kind of realign it.
Realign.
And, everyone has input. It's nice if you have kids in your blended family that
we have a conversation with the children as well, so that they feel a part of the decision. They're not going to feel a part of every decision, but there are some that
they can have goals. Definitely when you're realigning goals, they can have some. I mean, our children have changed them from what they want to participate in, what they don't, what they didn't think they would get. They auditioned for something and they made it. So now that's going to be a different path. And there's always good ways and good things that can cause you to realign goals. It's not always bad. And it's good to celebrate those as well. And with your whole family and with your spouse, it's like, hey, we had these in the beginning and this is where we are now. And this is where we want to go.
Exactly. You want to make sure that you talk to everybody in the family about this is where we're going. It's like the captain of the ship, and we're first mate and captain, and we're just talking to each other consistently. We're with each other and we're going in the same direction on this boat because, first of all, we don't have two boats. We're just on this one boat, and we're doing it together.
And it's good to have your individual goal as well, your personal growth goal that you share with your partner. So like if really deep down in my heart, I want to go ahead and get my nursing degree. Okay. For example, that I need to let you know that because that may change our finances.
It may.
It may change our time together. And you and I have to just say, okay, how much of the individual goal is going to take precedent over our family goal?
And it also depends on where your relationship is at that time. Maybe now it's not the time for you to do it because our relationship is a little rocky and we need to secure that bond.
And that's going to be tricky because some people are going to think that a person is stopping them from doing what they need to do because they don't like that. So
what you said, what they need to do. Do they need to do it at that time?
Well, that's why you have to talk about it because
exactly, you do.
Who is going to make that decision? If you feel like, hey, I want to do this nursing, it's going to give me a better job. It's going to give me more opportunities, which will then bring in more money.
But we know somebody who has changed things, said, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. And the other spouse was footing the bill, feeling the brunt of the work, feeling the brunt of everything. And it's like...
It didn't turn out the way that it was proposed.
Proposed.
And that's why you have to have these conversations because maybe it has to be, well, how can you do it? It might not be at the full throttle pace that you wanted to go in.
That's true.
If you didn't have a family and a spouse. So like, hey, yeah, I'm going to do my nursing degree. I'm still going to go towards that goal. But instead of like not working and just paying to go to school, maybe I'm going to do it part-time. So I'm still going towards my goal, but I'm not putting as much weight on my family
or my spouse.
And that's important to do so that you can feel more supported and the person, your spouse, feels more heard and respected because you love this person and this is who you want to spend the rest of your life with.
If your spouse feels like they're being dumped on, they're
Yeah.
probably not going to support your personal goal.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
nobody wants to feel like they're being dumped on. You're going over here succeeding in this other area. And we all have heard that once somebody succeeds in this goal, graduates, then they dump their spouse, go somewhere else. And nobody wants to go through that.
Right. So you want to make sure that you are having your individual goal and you're setting your personal goals that don't really take away. Because I feel like growth goals should be that. If I'm growing, then the people around me will feel that. So when I'm setting my personal goal, I'm very aware that it does not have to take from anyone else.
And everybody's going to grow around me.
Yes. I've done things where I may say, okay, I want to get healthier. My healthy goal almost made the whole house more healthier. And you guys could support me with that. It wasn't like my personal goal is to travel to Japan.
Well, we also
live there.
I was going to say
for a year.
We also know people like that as well, who they want to go and travel, and they will leave their spouse so they can go off and travel, have these certain experiences that they want to have. But in our opinion, that's not the best way to do it, because
unless your spouse agrees.
Unless the spouse agrees and you guys have a strong bond.
Yeah.
And you know that, things are safe in your family, in your household, and in your relationship. But for the most part, most people want to do things with their spouse.
Yes.
And not be away from
But
their
and
spouse.
if you do want to have an individual personal goal, we are just saying that it needs to be something that kind of works
in alignment.
Yeah, that's it.
In alignment
because we're realigning goals.
Yeah, exactly.
And that goal that may have been, maybe a dad wants to now be the community HOA president. Let's say that, or something. He started it. He started it and it was making him very upset. He was not spending time with the kids anymore like he was doing. And so that goal is a good goal, but maybe you can realign it. He can still be the HOA president, but maybe he cuts back his hours, or he recommits to how much time he's going to spend. There are ways to make your own personal goal and your growth work for everyone.
Yeah. You can have limitations on those things and still do a part of that. Like you said earlier, you want to do a little part of that so that your spouse doesn't feel like they're being neglected or they're having to feel the weight of your decision.
I've talked to many girlfriends about that, because I think as women, we can be like, oh yeah, let's do this and let's do that. And I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this. And one time I shared with a young lady that who has to pay for that?
Yeah, who's funding the party?
Yeah, who's funding all of this growth? And who is watching the kids during this growth? Who is doing that? And it makes you understand that some of these personal goals wouldn't even have been able to happen if you didn't have a spouse.
Support.
Yes. Yeah, if you didn't have that. So that's why they get a say kind of in your decision, because it wouldn't have been able to happen if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
And you definitely do not ever want to feel like you need to leave your spouse or leave your home because you want to go do something all by yourself. That is not the way growth works. Growth grows.
Yeah, leaving and doing things by yourself as a married person, and especially a remarried person, is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
you're going to go through some problems, some trouble, some tribulation, and some hard times.
Wow, that's a lot that you said.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, because you want to make sure that your person. This is why we focus on having the husband and the wife together, make decisions together if at all possible. And you want to do things as much as you can together, because you're building a stronger bond. The outside forces and Bill can't come in between you.
Right.
You want to be able to just live your life in peace, but together.
Yes, we just can't say it enough. The communication is key, because individual personal growth is important as humans.
It's very important.
As well as building your bond together. When you're remarried, it's even more important to build that bond together. because you've probably had some sort of individual time
Well,
during the divorce.
Well, you had your previous bond torn apart.
You had a previous bond torn apart.
Yeah.
Then you were in your kind of own time period. And now you're trying to reestablish a bond. It's not like the beginning marriage. It's reestablishing a new bond on a new foundation. And you have to give that remarriage some time for that.
Give it a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to intentionally build on that. It's not going to just happen. So if your goals for the year are more away from that bond, from building, and kind of more on yourself, you may have to realign.
Yes.
Just for the sake of this remarriage. This is a remarriage. This is something very important.
And it's something that you wanted to do.
It's something that we want. And so we are realigning our goals. Men and women are looking at all of our goals
and realigning them
and adding to them, cutting away, doing all of that. And we're going to have a great new year.
Yes.
When we do that.